When I was a student a long time ago, if you were given an award with a group of adults, the standard was lower. Kind of lowered your sights a bit because you weren't expected to really compete with the adult folk. And that was then, and this is now, and this candidate doesn't have to take a back seat to anyone at any time. Raina Jain of Greenwich cannot be here tonight, but her father, BJ, is, and her younger brother, Nishant, and I would ask them to come up, please. You may love honey, and you may dislike bees. But bees pollinate over 80% of our agricultural crops and over 90% of wild plants. So the bee is a vital link in a food chain that extends through all forms of life and supports our modern economy. Here in Connecticut, over 80% of our crops depend on honeybees. Pretty impressive for such a small little animal. And yet, an even smaller creature has wiped out an estimated 1/3 of the U.S. honeybee colonies. This Varroa mite, can infest beehives, spread diseases, and make bees especially vulnerable to today's widespread use of agricultural pesticides. Worse, there's no simple, long-lasting and reliable way to protect the bees from this tiny mite, at least until just possibly right now. The dire plight of bees caught the attention of Raina Jain, a student at Greenwich High School. Learning that mites get into the beehives by hitching rides on the bodies of the residents, she developed an ingenious way to stop the mites at the door. She designed a hive entrance that inoculates bees with an exactingly calibrated dose of a natural pesticide called thymol, which is extracted from common plants like thyme and bee balm. Can you imagine? Mites hate thymol. As it rubs off onto the bees entering the hives, the mites drop off and die. Meanwhile, the thymol permeates the air inside the hive to wipe out even more mites while leaving the bees unharmed. Amazing. Raina is now getting feedback on her invention from beekeepers and farms across the United States. She's already qualified to compete at several prestigious science fairs as well. And so to send this brilliant young lady and her honey of a project on their way to even greater success, we are truly delighted to honor her in absentia, but with her dad and her kid brother here, with Aquarion's 2019 Environmental Champion Award in the student category. Amazing.
Good evening, everyone. Raina couldn't be here, but I truly appreciated the Aquarion and for giving us the award today. She's already has been getting a bunch of awards, but there's many things that I learned from her myself, and I'm surprised that the young kids these days are coming with so much talent today, and the schools and everyone is promoting it. But just for the environmental coach, I see that, look, last 50 years, how much have changed, like how much we have come across, right? And the change is coming much faster. That is non-stoppable. We are going to continue the way we are. But the point is that we have to look our sustainability, that how we can coexist with the environment, with the nature, with the animals, with the flora and fauna together. Everything has to be in a very sustainable approach, and we should have to work together. And in this new world, we have to constantly think about it, how we really can solve new problems, how can we tackle new issues, and how can we do it together. And I see that there's so many animals in Florida. Animals are getting extinct, the rhinos, the big fishes, and things like that. And 50 years down the line, we don't want to see them just simply in the books that kids like dinosaur existed or the fish existed and things like that. I want them to see the real world. It's beautiful. The God created it. It's amazing, and it's an amazing sight to see. And already we see that it's that because of the human population growing it, we are taking more spaces, giving less spaces to the animals, and that's not really sustainability, right? And the real endeavor now lies on our kids, the new generation. They have to think of a new approach. How do we solve these problems scientifically, methodically, environmentally friendly? And we have to make it all happen around here. And we need some kind of higher authority. This is locally, we are doing a great job, but this is not a local problem. This has to, on a global problem, and there's no boundaries of states or countries, none that exist. We have to go and think on a global level that how we can preserve it, because the animals does not understand countries. And we want to preserve every one of them in their true natural environment where they can live on. I just trying to represent the Raina with best of my capacity today. But she loves these kind of things, and she just tried to come up with these new solutions. And there is some energy in her, and I'm learning a lot from her every single day. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.